Well, how are you today, everyone? It has been a week since I met you through online video that I have created talking about figurative language or figurative meaning as a part of our discussions. In today's lessons, we are going to continue that explanations. We have discussed simile. Is there anyone who still remember what is simile means? Yes. Yes. A simile is a type of comparison between two unlike things using like or as. For example, like you are like flower in my heart, for example. So the comparison between you as a human and flower, which is a plant, is two unlike things. So a comparison between two unlike things, that's why we call it simile. And then we also have discussed a metaphor, which is a comparison between two unlike things without using like or as. So the difference between metaphor and simile is like or as. Simile with like or as, there are like or as in the sentence. In metaphor, without like or as. For example, you are the star of my heart, for example. So the comparison between you and the star without like or as. That's why we call it metaphor. And we also have discussed a personification. Is there anyone who still remember what is personification? Exactly. Personification is given an animal object or idea, human trait. So for giving, in a simple word, personification is like the actions of giving the human quality to non-human object. For example, a human quality is something that only human can do. For example, smile. So only human can smile, right? But whenever we say there is an object which is not human, for example, a tree, for example, smile at me, for example. So the tree smile means that the tree is not human, but smile is the human quality. So giving the tree the human quality, smile, it's what we call personification. Okay. Enough for the review. Now let's move on to the next point that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about what is the next one? Alliteration. Right. What is alliteration mean? Alliteration is the repetitions of the consonant sound at the beginning of the word. So it started from the very beginning, right? Most of the time, this alliteration talk about how beautiful the word is. It's sometimes used by songs, right? For example, Sally the snake slithered swiftly to safety, right? The sound at the beginning of the word is S. And in one sentence, there are at least 3 S at the same time. But here have been exceed the 3. It more than 3. Sally, S. Snake, S. Slithered, S. Swiftly, S. Safety, S. So because of these repetitions of the consonant sound at the beginning of the word, that's why we call it alliterations. Right? Take a look at the example. This is actually a minor exercise that we could do, right? Which of the following sentence use alliteration correctly? Number 1, the daisy danced delightfully in the wind. Or the daisy lost its petals in the wind. Which one? The daisy lost its petal in the wind, or the daisy danced delightfully in the wind. Which one? Alright, so it goes to the first one. The daisy danced delightfully in the wind. How many D is there? 1, 2, 3. Is it 3? No, it's 5. Why? Because what we count is not the letter. Yang kita lihat bukan hurufnya, but what we count is the the sounds, bunyinya. Daisy and the, even though that it started with the letter T, but it sounds the. So the daisy dance delightfully in the wind, right? The-nya itu mulainya walaupun tulisannya TH, tapi dimulai dengan the. What we consider as what we count is the letter, is the sound, not the letter. Walaupun tulisannya the, kayak hour dengan our jam dengan our kepunyaan kita. So even though that writing or the letter is different, but somehow it's pronounced the same, then we count it still as an alliteration. Right. If you still have any questions, give it, save it, write it down, and then after the video end, you may ask me a question, right? Okay, go to the next one. Right, we call it onomatopoeia. Right, onomatopoeia is different with simile, with different with metaphor, personifications, on alliteration. What is the difference? Simile, metaphor, personification, alliteration deal with sentence. Yang kita bahas di sebelumnya adalah kalimat, right? Alliteration dalam satu kalimat ada beberapa kata. We call it alliteration karena dia bentuknya kalimat. Personification is also because it is a sentence that put the human quality to non-human object. It is a sentence. Simile, metaphor, it's also a sentence. But in onomatopoeia, we are dealing with word. We are talking about words, right? So, what is onomatopoeia? Onomatopoeia is a word whose sounds imitate or suggest its meaning. What does that mean? It means that there are certain words that was taken from its sound. For example, kalau saya patahin kayu, kalau saya patahin ranting, bunyinya gimana kira-kira? Gimana bunyinya? Nggak mungkin dong bunyinya mbe, nggak mungkin kan? So bunyinya pastinya crack, betul nggak? Apa bahasa Inggrisnya mematahkan? Crack. So why this native speaker or why these English people put mematahkan itu sebagai crack? Why? Because they take it from its original sound. That's what we call onomatopoeia. Take a look at the example. Or another example that I can give you. Menyiram, memercikkan air. What we call it? Atau bunyinya gimana kalau kita siram air seperti ini? Kita seperti siram air gitu. Hush, splash, splash. So what in English memercikkan air? Splashing the water. That is why they call it splash. Right? Karena bunyinya terdengar bagi mereka adalah splash. That's what we call onomatopoeia. Okay, take a look at the example. The students clap their hands after a great performance from the school band. Where is the onomatopoeia? The students clap, hands, performance, or a school band. Right, it's clap. What does clap mean? Tepuk tangan. How is tepuk tangan sounds? Like, okay, let me give to you. How it sound? Clap. Right. They hear it clap. That's why they call it clap. Because that's how the action sounds. Right? Right. But remember, in onomatopoeia, the standard is English, right? So it's not the native speaker become the standard. Bukan bunyi yang kita dengar, tapi bunyi yang didengar oleh orang Inggris. Why? Because this is their language, that's why it's based on them. Emangnya beda ya? Yes. Sometimes it's different, right? For example, how bunyinya kalau kita nembak orang gimana? Dor. In bahasa Indonesia, right? Kalau ada orang nembak, bunyinya gimana? Kalau ada yang tanya umpamanya, ada yang tanya, ya bunyi orang tembakannya gimana? Dor. See? But if we ask a native speaker or people who are in England, for example, or in America, kalau kita bilang bunyi tembakan itu dor, they probably will laugh at us, right? Because the sound that they heard is bang, right? Bang. That is the sounds that they heard. Apakah bunyinya yang kita ambil bunyi yang kita dengar atau bunyi yang mereka dengar? Bunyi yang mereka dengar. Why? Because this is their language, right? Okay. So the standard should be what the native speaker hear. Okay. Take a look at this onomatopoeia practice. Which of the following sentences use onomatopoeia correctly? Number 1, as I walk through the forest, the leaves stuck to my shoes. Or, as I walk through the leaves, they crack with each step. Which one? Alright, the second one. Which word? Crackled. Right? So crackled means itu diambil dari bunyi cracklednya. Okay? So what does crackled mean? What does crackled mean? Gemercik. Bunyi kakinya, kertak-kertuk. So they call it crackled because they hear that sounds. Alright? Okay. Next. We call it hyperbole. Probably most of us have already been so familiar with this. Hyperbole. What does hyperbole mean? Hyperbole is an exaggeration or overstatement. What we call it exaggerations or overstatement, itu adalah membesar-besarkan keadaan. For example, I'm so hungry that I could eat a horse. Is it possible that these people who are saying that he is hungry could eat a horse? No. But it indicates that he or she is very hungry, that he think or she think he could eat a horse. That is what we call hyperbole. Okay, let's go to hyperbole practice. Which of the following sentence use hyperbole correctly? My mom had a cold when she saw my report card. My mom was enraged when she saw my report card. Enraged. Which one? First one. My mom had a cold when she saw my report card. What does that mean? My mom is very, very angry at me when she saw my report card. Become a cow means that super marah. Okay? So it's a hyperbole because sometimes it's actually aggregates thing beyond its reality. Is there any questions? You are free to ask. If you have any question, you can put in the comment sections, or you also can ask through the designated WhatsApp group that we have to discuss for discussions. Okay, so we have discussed simile, metaphor, hyperbole, personifications, onomatopoeia, and alliterations. Right? Okay. Remember, this is only 6 figurative meaning. There are a lot of figurative language that you can use, but this is the most common usage in the song because we are discussing songs. This is the most common figurative language in the song. That's why we are discussing only 6. If you are still curious on the extra figurative language beyond what we have discussed, you can find on the internet, you can find in the book, or you also can ask me for further discussions, right? And I think that is all. Thank you, everyone. See you in next week. Have fun and keep up the good work. Dada for now.